This is Tiny Win English, where English practice sounds like a calm conversation and real life gets to come with you.
Welcome back. If you're walking home, washing dishes, lying on the sofa, or pretending not to hear your phone, you're in the right place.
Maybe you're on a bus with one earbud.
Maybe you're making tea and telling yourself, I will study later, in a very dramatic voice.
Maybe you're folding laundry and hoping this episode can keep you company.
Maybe you're avoiding one email, one homework task, or one emotional conversation. We support a gentle level of avoidance here.
I'm Chloe.
I'm Sam.
Quick check-in game before we begin. Imagine your English routine as a campfire. Is it a tiny spark, a steady little flame, or one huge weekend bonfire that disappears by Tuesday?
Mine is sometimes one brave match and one confused marshmallow.
That is so real.
Maybe this sounds like you. Monday is busy, Tuesday is worse, Wednesday is a blur, and then on Saturday you suddenly want to become a brand new person.
And that is exactly why today's topic matters. We are talking about how to design a minimum daily English routine when weekdays and weekends are different.
Because for most adults, the days are not equal. Your energy is not equal. Your free time is definitely not equal.
If your routine only works on perfect days, it is not a routine yet. It is a fantasy.
Ouch, but yes.
Our promise today is simple, real spoken English, useful expressions. And one practical life idea you can actually use this week.
We are also building this as listening practice, so some parts may sound a little richer, but we'll still speak clearly and repeat the key ideas.
This episode is around B1 to B2 level.
If you miss a few words, that's okay. Stay with the main idea, and you can always come back later and catch more on the next listen.
If you like this kind of quiet, practical conversation, subscribe and come back for the next one.
And if this topic made you think of a friend whose routine keeps slipping, you can share it with them too.
Near the end, we will do a slow word tour with 10 useful expressions from today's conversation.
That part is great for shadowing, so stay with us.
Let's begin with one big idea. A minimum routine is not the routine of your dreams.
Right. Not vacation life. Not perfect morning life.
It is the routine that survives your actual week.
Actual Tuesday life. That is the test.
Picture this. You come home late. Your bag is on the chair. Your brain feels like soup. You still want English, but only a very small amount.
This is where many people quit before they start because they think small means useless.
The phrase bare minimum is important here. Bare minimum means the smallest version of a habit that still counts.
Not the glamorous version, just the version that stays alive.
Exactly. And I like another phrase from our campfire image, keep the flame alive. That means doing enough to keep the habit warm, even if today is not a big study day.
So not a giant bonfire. One small log.
One small log is enough on many weekdays. I'll give you my honest story. A few years ago, I made a weekday English plan for myself even though I teach English. It had a podcast, a reading article, 5 new words, writing practice, and pronunciation practice. It looked so responsible. It also lasted about 3 days.
Classic ambitious adult behavior.
By Thursday night, I was tired, behind, and a little angry at my own plan. Then I changed the rule. My weekday bare minimum became 8 minutes, 3 minutes of listening, 2 minutes of repeating out loud, and 3 minutes of writing one sentence I wanted to keep. That tiny routine felt almost too small, but it did something very important. It kept the flame alive. I stayed connected to English every day, and because the connection stayed warm, I could do more when I had more energy.
That part matters. It is easier to keep a warm connection than to restart from cold.
Listener question for you. What is the smallest weekday routine you would actually do after a long day?
Maybe you know this feeling. You sit down, open 3 apps, feel guilty, and then somehow end up watching a refrigerator tour on the internet.
This happens to a lot of people.
My weekday version is almost embarrassingly small. I listen to 2 minutes of audio while I brush my teeth. Then I say one sentence back to the speaker.
And that still counts.
Yes, because the goal is not to impress the internet. The goal is to stay in contact with the language.
A practical way to do this is to define your weekday floor in minutes and actions. not just study English. Say, I will listen for 5 minutes and repeat one line.
Another mini scenario. Maybe you have 10 minutes on the train. Great. That is enough for one clip and one repeated sentence.
Or maybe your lunch break is noisy and short. Fine. Listen while you walk and save one useful line for later.
If this sounds like you, please hear this. Tiny does not mean fake. Tiny can be the structure that keeps the week together.
For English learning, this matters because daily contact helps your ears stay open. Real spoken English becomes less distant when it visits your day again and again.
The campfire image again. On weekdays, your job is not to build a forest fire. Your job is to protect one small flame.
And once that weekday flame exists, then the weekend can do a different job.
The weekend problem is almost the opposite. Suddenly you have a little more room and your brain says, excellent, time for a heroic catch-up session.
The phrase catch-up session sounds innocent. It means a longer study block where you try to recover everything you missed.
Which can be useful sometimes.
Sometimes, yes. But many people mix it with an all-or-nothing mindset. All or nothing means if the plan cannot be big and perfect, they treat the whole day like a failure.
That was me on Sundays. I would tell myself, today I will study for 2 full hours, review all my notes, fix my pronunciation, read an article, and maybe become bilingual by dinner.
Very calm, very realistic.
Exactly. Then a friend would text me, or I would need groceries, or I would just feel human, and suddenly the whole plan felt broken. Because it was all or nothing, it became mostly nothing.
Tell the full story.
Okay, one winter I made Sunday my serious English day. I bought a notebook, colored pens, even special tea. It was like the opening scene of a productive documentary. But every Sunday had a different shape. 1 week, family lunch. 1 week, extra work. 1 week. I was just tired and wanted to stare at the ceiling like it was giving me advice. Because my plan needed a perfect afternoon, I skipped more and more Sundays. Then by Sunday night I felt behind, guilty, and weirdly suspicious of my own tea. The tea had done nothing wrong, but it became part of my failure story.
That is so specific and so real.
What changed was simple. I stopped calling the weekend my rescue day. I started calling it an upgrade day. An upgrade means extra, not required. If I had 40 minutes, great. If I had 15, still fine. My minimum still happened every day. The weekend was just where I added a bigger log to the campfire.
That difference is powerful. Weekend English should feel like expansion, not punishment.
Yes, not paying off a debt, not school detention, just expansion.
A useful weekend design is a menu. Maybe option 1, a longer listening walk. Option 2, 1 full episode plus shadowing. Option 3, read a short text and save 3 sentences.
And you choose based on the real day, not the imaginary ideal day.
Mini scenario. Saturday morning is quiet, coffee is ready, and you have 30 calm minutes. Great. Choose the longer version.
Another scenario. Saturday disappears into errands, family plans, and one mystery problem with your sink. Fine, do your normal minimum and stop the guilt there.
Another one. Sunday evening is the only open space, but your brain is tired. Then your upgrade can be gentle. Listen, repeat, save 1 line and close the notebook with dignity.
If this sounds like you are not lazy. You may just be trying to use one kind of routine for 2 very different kinds of days.
For English learning, consistency beats drama. Useful expressions enter your memory more easily when the system fits your life.
So weekday equals floor.
Weekend equals optional ceiling.
Exactly. And now we need to make both versions easy enough to happen without daily negotiation.
This is where the word friction comes in. Friction means the small difficulty that makes a task harder to start.
Not huge tragedy, tiny annoyance, but tiny annoyance can kill a habit.
Example. Your audio is buried in a folder. Your notebook is in another room. Your headphones are dead. None of these problems is dramatic, but together they tell your brain, maybe tomorrow.
Oh no, the kingdom of maybe tomorrow.
To reduce friction, many people use a habit stack. A habit stack means you attach the new habit to something you already do.
Like after I make coffee, I play 2 minutes of English. After I get on the subway, I open one saved clip. After I wash the dishes, I say one sentence out loud.
Exactly. Existing habit first, English second. No daily decision needed.
Can I confess something slightly silly?
Please.
I used to keep my English materials in a very organized app that I never opened. It was too neat, too many folders, too much respect. So I changed it. I put one podcast episode on my home screen, one note called Sentence Bank at the top of my Notes app, and one sticky note on my desk that said, "Press play first."
That is not silly. That is design.
And it worked. My routine stopped feeling like a formal ceremony and started feeling like part of daily life.
I had a similar problem during a month when I traveled a lot. Airports, trains, late check-ins, weird mornings. My normal routine disappeared and I panicked a little. So I created a fallback plan. A fallback plan is the backup version you use when life is messy.
Important phrase.
My fallback plan was this: 1 minute of listening, one sentence repeated, one sentence saved. That was it. Some days I did that in a hotel bathroom, some days in a taxi, some days half asleep. And then I added one more phrase: low energy mode. Low energy mode means the easiest version of your routine for tired or stressful days.
Like when your phone battery is at 7%.
Exactly. On low energy days, I did not choose articles or grammar exercises. I only listened and repeated. Because when energy is low, complexity feels heavier than it really is.
Listener takeaway. Build your routine for bad days first. If it works on a crowded Wednesday, it will also work on a calm Sunday.
And if you miss a day, use the fallback plan the next day. Do not hold a trial against yourself.
That sentence needs a little frame around it.
Missing once is normal. Missing twice is a pattern. So return fast, return small, and keep the campfire alive before it gets cold.
Maybe you know this feeling. You missed 2 days, then you start planning a perfect restart on Monday, which is just another way of waiting.
You are not weird if you do that. A lot of learners do.
Another mini scenario. Your child finally falls asleep, and you have 4 quiet minutes before the next tiny emergency. That can still be English time.
Or maybe you are standing in line at the supermarket and your brain is tired. Low energy mode can still give you one repeated sentence.
For listening practice and speaking confidence, low friction matters more than big intention.
And once the routine is easy to start, the last question is what exactly you should do inside it.
Yes, because a routine can be consistent and still feel a little empty.
Right. You can spend 10 minutes around English without really building much. So your minimum routine needs 3 parts: input, mouth, and memory.
Input, mouth, and memory. I like that.
Input means you hear or read real English. Mouth means you say something because silent learning has limits. Memory means you keep one useful piece.
This is where 2 final phrases help a lot. The first is sentence bank. A sentence bank is a small collection of useful whole sentences you want to reuse.
Not random single words floating in space.
Yes, whole sentences are more alive. If I hear, I only need 10 minutes to get back on track, I save that whole line.
The second phrase is shadow out loud. To shadow out loud means you listen to a sentence and say it with the speaker, trying to copy the rhythm.
This is gold for spoken English, by the way. Very simple, very powerful.
Here's a mini scenario. You have 6 weekday minutes. Listen to one short clip. Shadow out loud for 2 lines. Save one sentence in your sentence bank. Done.
Another scenario. It is Sunday and you have more time. Listen longer, shadow 5 or 6 lines, and then use one bank sentence in your own example.
Let me share one more confession. I used to take a lot of notes about English. Beautiful notes, serious notes, notes that look smarter than I felt. But later, I could not use most of them in conversation. When I switched to a sentence bank, my review became lighter and more practical. Instead of 50 lonely words, I had lines like, "Weekdays are messy, so I need a simple routine," or "I do the minimum to keep the flame alive."
That is real English you can actually borrow.
And shadowing changed my speaking more than silent reading did, because my mouth stopped treating English like a museum object.
Wow, that is a strong sentence.
Thank you.
My version is very ordinary. I shadow lines while I walk to the store, quietly. I do not want to frighten the vegetables.
Respectful choice.
But it works. The words feel less distant when I hear them copy them, and then use one of them later in my own sentence.
A simple takeaway here is that your minimum routine does not need many parts. It needs one real input, one moment of speaking, and one sentence to keep.
If this sounds like you, try this exact formula for 1 week. Weekday, 5 to 10 minutes. Weekend, the same minimum plus one upgrade if you want it.
And because this is an English learning episode, remember that replaying and shadowing are part of the routine, not extra homework.
Before we close, let's slow the campfire down and do our word tour.
Word tour time, nice and slow.
You do not need to remember everything today. Just notice what feels useful.
And if you want listening practice, you can replay this section later and shadow with us line by line.
Word 1. Bare minimum.
Bare minimum means the smallest version of a habit that still counts.
Example 1. My bare minimum is 5 minutes of listening on the bus.
Example 2. Even on busy days, I still do the bare minimum.
Repeat with us. Bare minimum.
One more time. Slowly, bare minimum.
Word 2. Keep the flame alive.
Keep the flame alive means stay connected to a habit, even in a very small way.
Example 1. I only listened for 3 minutes, but I kept the flame alive.
Example 2. This short routine helps me keep the flame alive during the week.
Say it with us. Keep the flame alive.
Slowly now, keep the flame alive.
Word 3. Catch-up session.
A catch-up session is a longer study time when you try to recover missed work.
Example 1. On Sunday, I planned a catch-up session after lunch.
Example 2. My catch-up session was useful, but it was optional.
Repeat. Catch-up session.
One more time. Catch-up session.
Word 4. All or nothing.
All or nothing means you think something must be perfect, or it means zero.
Example 1. My all or nothing thinking made me skip the whole study block.
Example 2. I want progress, not all or nothing pressure.
Repeat with us. All or nothing.
Slowly, all or nothing.
Word 5. Friction.
Friction means a small difficulty that makes starting harder.
Example 1. Too many folders created friction, so I never open the app.
Example 2. I keep my audio ready to reduce friction.
Repeat. Friction.
One more time. Clearly, friction.
Word 6. Habit stack.
A habit stack means you attach a new habit to a habit you already have.
Example 1. My habit stack is coffee first, then 2 minutes of English.
Example 2. After I brush my teeth, I do my English habit stack.
Say it with us. Habit stack.
Slowly, habit stack.
Word 7. Fallback plan.
A fallback plan is your backup version for messy days.
Example 1. My fallback plan is 1 minute of listening and 1 repeated sentence.
Example 2. Travel week was chaotic, so I used my fallback plan.
Repeat. Fallback plan.
One more time. Fallback plan.
Word 8. Low energy mode.
Low energy mode means the easiest version of your routine for tired days.
Example 1. Tonight is low energy mode, so I will only listen and repeat.
Example 2. When work is heavy, low energy mode saves my routine.
Say it with us. Low energy mode.
Slowly, low energy mode.
Word 9. Sentence bank.
A sentence bank is a small collection of useful whole sentences you want to reuse.
Example 1. I save that phrase in my sentence bank.
Example 2. My sentence bank helps me review real English, not isolated words.
Repeat. Sentence bank.
One more time. Sentence bank.
Word 10. Shadow out loud.
To shadow out loud means to listen and speak with the audio, copying the rhythm.
Example 1. I shadow out loud while I walk to the store.
Example 2. You can shadow out loud with one short clip every morning.
Repeat with us. Shadow out loud.
Slowly now, shadow out loud.
If you want extra speaking practice, replay this word tour and say every line with us.
And remember, you do not need to master all 10 expressions today. Keep the campfire warm. That is already real progress. Nice work today. You stayed with a long episode, and that counts.
Really, you do not need a heroic plan. You need a routine small enough to survive.
Core life lesson in one line. Build the routine your real week can carry, not the routine your fantasy self can admire.
Before you go, write one sentence using bare minimum or low energy mode.
For example, my bare minimum is 6 minutes of listening on the train. Or, tonight I'm using low energy mode and repeating 3 lines.
If you want, leave that sentence in the comments. Or tell us whether you are more of a weekday learner or a weekend learner.
If this episode helped you, subscribe and come back for the next one.
And if you want a little more speaking practice, replay the word tour and shadow 1 or 2 lines with us.
This is Tiny Win English with Chloe and Sam.
Keep your little campfire alive this week.
And we'll see you in the next video for another real English, real life conversation.